anyway,
why is only on that one with your ring?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's not the thing. Now, what I wanted to tell you was
Okay.
this: the mountains, the up in the mountains,
Yeah, where the Indians
the
are.
Indians were. Okay, the Indians went from there to through Nashville, Highway 12, and Highway 12 is the road. It has a tall bridge. You ought to go see it sometime. Real tall bridge. And that road carries you down into West Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
From there, those people were, the Indians were carried to out west to, I forget the name, Omaha, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And there the government is taking care of the Indians.
Really?
Yeah. They're on the reservation. So, see, that's worth some money. This ring is worth a lot of money, I think. And you know, just to know that about this,
I thought that was your high school ring.
it is high school. But what I'm saying was that ring's worth a lot of money now, and it's worth a lot to me. Might not be worth a lot to other people, but it's a story behind it. That's what's important.
Do you have a will that you've written up?
A will?
Yeah. No. I thought about writing one up just in case if I ever got into an accident.
That'd be a good thing to
so
do.
whenever Josh was
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knows what he
Everybody ought to have a will.
a living will and a dying will.
Yeah. I don't think I have one.
No.
I know that I worked at Fort Campbell, and I'll draw till I die. But as far as me just having, you see, there again comes back to Missy. Missy knows what to do with me.
Well, no, a will like where all your stuff is going, like your material things.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering if maybe, I know that Missy would probably want to give things to Jack. You know, your mom.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was thinking maybe I could have your ring so I can give it to Josh one day.
Yeah, well, it's perfectly okay with me, and I want to give part of me that can be given away to the kids, grandkids, especially. And I know that y'all would like to have something, so you can have maybe my eyes or something, my toes or something, my toenails.
We wanted you to eyes or your toenails.
I just did something. But you know, there's things that belongs to me that even, well, since you had the car, I'll just give the car back to you.
Yeah.
And of course you won't need it because you already have one. But you know, you can find something to do. Either sell it,
No,
or
I'll
put
probably
it
keep
away.
it and put it in the garage so it can get empty.
There you go.
Low mileage.
Yeah, yeah. You would right to work.
Um,
And that would be a real good thing to keep from me.
yeah.
From me.
Well, you know, it's kind of sad because, you know, when we go to heaven, you know, if you give me that ring and give it to Josh, I can't take it to heaven with me. I gotta leave it here.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder what God's going to do with all these materialistic things when we have to leave them behind.
Well, I think that, well, he won't have no people.
I know, but what are they going to do? Just sit and rot on this earth?
Well,
That's a good question.
he has no way of taking care of
I know. I just wish I knew what his secret was. I wish you'd, you know, let me in on some of his secrets.
Yeah, I know. But we just don't know about this. You see, there'll be a new heaven and a new earth.
What are
Both
you doing on?
old things has passed away. Behold, all things become new.
Yeah.
That he'll take care of that. Really. Even though we want to know that.
You know what?
What?
I was thinking.
Oh, you will try to get rid of it.
No.
Well, why not?
I don't have the money right now.
Well, okay, well, wait a while.
I want to go back to school, and I don't want to have too many kids, because if you have too many kids too soon, when you don't have the money, then you never get anywhere in life.
Yeah.
It'd be harder, and I don't want to I don't want them to go without.
Well,
Because,
you're thinking right.
you know, know, whenever we
And
were,
I'll tell you this, I think you are a good Christian woman.
yeah, I try to
You
be.
love God,
I try to be.
and I appreciate that very much.
You know what? Just yesterday,
Yeah.
I was really sad,
Oh,
and I said, "There's a lot of things that I wish that, you know, I wish I had a degree.
yeah,
I wish I had a job that paid me more money.
yeah.
You know, I wish I had a house that was paid for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish Josh had his own bedroom that I painted, and you know, I wish I had the money to be able to build things. Because that's
Yeah.
what I want to build things.
Yeah.
I want to figure out what I want to do, what I like to do.
I believe you're a builder.
And I was so sad about all that, and I thought, I just feel like I'm never going to get there where I want to be.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'm going to be about, you know, maybe 50 years old before I can even start on what I want to do, and that don't give me enough time, you know, because I'll
Well,
have to
you
go to
know,
heaven.
50 years old, you still have a lot of time.
But yeah, but with age comes, you know, like, the older I get, the more expensive things are going to get.
Yeah.
And, you know, the weaker I'm going to get, I'm not going to have the same strength and the same energy.
It's true.
And, you know, I thought to myself, I'm like, I'm really sad about that. And then every time I think like that, I think, you know what? That devil is really trying to get at me right now.
Oh, the devil, he's probably.
And I say to myself, I'm very sad about everything that I don't have that I wish I could be at.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, but what are the things I am grateful for? And I think, I'm so glad I have a car that runs, so if I ever need to just get away, I can leave the house and go on a ride.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that it's not taken. I'm thankful that I have heat and AC.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that, you know, I'm not in debt.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that, you know, we have a nice place to live. And then I thought,
Yeah, you're thankful for the baby.
I am. And then
That
I
you-
thought, you know, I was
You
thinking
know,
that day also.
that guy,
Andrew,
he loves you.
Andrew,
Yes, he said, I love you, I love Josh more than I do you.
yeah,
And I believe him.
yeah,
Now, I know he loves you,
yeah.
but
Sometimes.
we all love Josh. You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, we can't leave Jack out.
Yeah.
I know he's mean and everything. And Missy's hard to get along with.
Jack just has a lot of energy. He's
Oh,
very. I think he might be ADD. You never know. I think he's just really hyper.
Yeah.
He just wants to play, and he doesn't play hard enough where his energy is ran out. So he
Yeah.
still got a lot of energy when
Yeah.
he gets home. That's what's wrong with him.
But you know, Missy's hard to get along with.
Everybody's got their ways. I will never forget when I was little and you lived on Greenfield Drive, you and me, Mom, and I remember I wasn't doing what y'all told me to do, and you said, I'm going to get my belt, and you took the belt off and chased me around the house.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you got the fly swatter out before it got me.
I tell you what, I got mad at Missy one time, and I guess I put her on the ground out there in the front yard and spanked her.
Yeah.
I
Who
guess
told you that?
Huh?
Who told you that?
I did. Did nobody say
Oh,
I did.
you remember?
I actually did.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't tell you this.
Okay.
You probably don't know about it. It's about me and Faye. And if I told you anything at all, I'd tell you things that I don't want you to know
Yeah.
about our marriage.
Yeah. Well, everybody has that thing where there's things that aren't so good and things that are good, but it, you know, it says in the Bible, through thick and through thin. And you know why it says that?
What?
Because sometimes you just can't tolerate each other.
Well, see, I
God already knew that though. Isn't that crazy?
I go back to what Paul said
Okay.
one time. Paul, before he died, I had lost my car. And of course I gave it to you. I told Pastor Faye, if you'll carry me to church on Sunday, just one day, on Sunday, I'll take over everything you do at your house. I'll do it for you. And I did. And I knew she enjoyed this, you know, it's just this knitting stuff.
Canvas, plastic canvas.
Plastic can. I knew she enjoyed it. And of course I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing was, I was sitting on the end of the never forget that.
Yeah.
When she said that, I knew she didn't hate me. I did. Even though she sent me to Florida to be with Tracy. Tracy, come up here and get Jane. She's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
The reason I was driving her crazy is because I was crazy because I didn't know I was saved or not. And I was talking to her all these years. And she got tired of it. And she said, come up here and get him. He's driving me crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
you know what?
it goes into, this keeps getting deeper. But you know, when I was a little boy, it's two stories there. When I was a little boy, this is whenever God really put his hand on me, the first time. Gum Spring don't look like it used to. Gum Spring had two doors at the end of the church, and also had steps going up there. And I got on the third step. See, I remember these things. I got a good memory. Laverne told me one time, my girlfriend, she said, you sure do remember things. She said, I don't remember all those things. But anyway, when the women brought the women in, they got up, Brother Upton was a preacher. They got out of the car, went in the church. Of course, they was there because, you know, they had a 2 weeks revival, and that was happened to be there for the preacher to have somebody to preach to. And he said, does anybody want to ride around the church? And I was waiting for him. I was already on the third step. I said, yeah, I want to. Okay, but what it was, I had something I wanted to ask him about the Lord. I don't know what it was. I rode around the church with him. He cut his engine off, and he sat there, I think, and he talked. No, I know he talked to me and told me what I wanted to know, and I wish that I could remember what it was. I just know there was something about the Lord. And I had my hand on the door handle, had it done pulled back, ready to push it open. And my hand opened just a little bit. And I was waiting for him to hush so I could get out, get away from it. And, you know, I really believe that day I went forward and the invitation was given. And the church seats that you sat on, I know they had cracks in them. And I figured that there was 2x4 cracks. 2x4s is, you know, about that thick, but I figured it about that way.
Yeah.
And so I knelt there and I prayed, and then Katie, the woman that I just love, we used to dip snuff one time together. Outside, up there was the little Daggett house.
Yeah.
Stuff goes. And we dipped snuff and went outside and sat down. Of course, there was no porch on the house, nothing like that. And behind the house, back out in, way over where some of the other fighters lived, there's a railroad that came through there. And she told me about we call them, they're in Nashville, you know. People getting stuff, you know.
Hand out newspapers?
No, not newspapers. They're people
Vendors?
that don't do nothing.
Homeless people?